Hey, what's happening, Barnaby here? Another HelloLife moment with my friend, Dr. Jeffrey Chamberlain, who is a family doctor. You know, I have a 7-year-old, and I remember the moment so well when I was thinking, I pray he's going to be a whole and complete child. And I start reading, and I'm seeing how many kids these days have autism. The CDC says nearly 1 in 100. Scary thoughts. So define autism for us.
So autism or autistic spectrum disorders is really a collection of different symptoms, and it's broken down into two types. There's classical autism, which these kids, usually around the age of 1 to 2, parents start to notice some social withdrawal. The kids tend to not enjoy being cuddled by parents and things like that. People with autism, they have a tendency to not enjoy interacting with people. They tend to withdraw, tend to focus in on themselves. They tend to focus on specific things that they're really into and really hone in on that and do a whole bunch of one particular thing. They have a tendency to want to eat only a couple different things, and basically once they get into habits of doing things, they just like to do the same thing over and over again. It causes a lot of problems with both learning and interacting with others, which can cause a lot of stress for both the parents and also the person with autism.
Well, my nephew has Asperger's. So that is a form of autism, almost like an autism light.
Yeah, so the autistic spectrum disorders has classical autism, and then it has Asperger's syndrome. Asperger's syndrome has some of the characteristics of classical autism. They tend to focus in on specific things. They tend to have a specific tasks that they like to do. They don't have the same social withdrawal, so they'll approach people, start conversations with people, but a lot of times they don't have the same ability to read body language that the rest of us have. So they might be talking to someone on and on about a subject that person doesn't care about and not really getting any of the hints that the person's laying down that they want to end the conversation or not be a part of the conversation.
So let's say that your child demonstrates some of the hallmarks of either classic autism or Asperger's. Are there treatments for this?
Yeah. The first thing to do if you're worried that your child may have one of these syndromes is really bring them to a healthcare professional who's used to dealing with kids with autistic spectrum disorders, who can evaluate them and kind of figure out what's going on. Most of the treatments are really individualized counseling and therapy type things, helping kids work at the problems that they have and helping them develop habits in situations or social situations so they can interact with each other well, and also figuring out what type of learning styles they learn best and helping them learn the way they need to learn.
And it's interesting, there's a store that I happened upon in the course of my professional career as a broadcaster where it was autism specific. It was all the different tools that this mother who had 2 autistic children had found in the course of her travail trying to get these kids the best life possible. All these great devices. And so really, it's, as a parent, you're on a mission. Your child is diagnosed and it becomes a lifelong pursuit to try to do as many things for your child as possible to get them back to where you'd like them to be for a good and whole life.
Yeah.
And so are there other things you can do for it, like, say, diet changes? It would seem that a lot of people think with allergies, hey, change the diet, but would that necessarily have an effect on autism?
Excuse me. Yes and no with this. There's been some studies that show that certain diets or certain elimination diets where they get rid of sugars or artificial flavorings or artificial colorings help some children with autism, but it doesn't help all the children with autism. The other problem that can arise is a lot of times autistic kids only want to eat certain foods. And so if they're only eating certain foods anyways and they're already underweight and now you're taking more foods out of their diet, that could cause problems with malnutrition. So it's really a delicate balance of trying some of these things out to see if it helps your individual child, but at the same time making sure they're getting the nutrition they need to grow and be healthy.
All right. Well, you know what? It's all good information, and yet there's so much more to learn from Dr. Chamberlain on this, because you write on our HelloLife circle. And so for that, you can always check in for the various subjects that intrigue you, but you can always check right back here to HelloLife.net for a one-on-one conversation with Dr. Jeffrey Chamberlain about things that matter to you, because we're all about matching your commitment to a healthy lifestyle. So you coughed twice during the interview, fist bump,
Okay.
no handshake.